The developers just released the new patch notes for the patch, which should be during the global release event that's coming up on the 28th of March. What is going on, guys? Meower here with a brand new video. I deeply apologize for the lack of uploads for the past few days. I had the flu, then I had to go into surgery for my appendix. Now I am good to go. With that out of the way, in this video, we will be talking about the brand new game update notice that just got released earlier today. It involves a lot of changes to the game and a potential meta shift with some of these changes. Now, I won't take long in this introduction, so you might as well just get right into the video. Starting off with the patch notes, the developers are going to add two new legendary artifacts, which I would assume they are obtainable from the normal artifact pulling system and the Forge of Light artifact on podium event. But since it's not really specified, so I will go with the first thing, right? So they're adding Infernal Flames, which is magic and PvP, and they're adding Visage of the Sanctus, which is flying and PvP. So this is probably our first flying artifact. It should be interesting what type of attributes they give and what the actives will be. Next up, some artifacts are getting buffed. Some certain legendary and epic artifacts gain at the 5 and 6 stars is getting nerfed, thankfully. That is such a huge change because it was so big. 10% damage taken and 10% damage reduction was humongous. Now they nerfed it to 5%, which is pretty good. I like that change a lot. It brings down artifact power down a little bit, which is really good. Next up, we have a massive, massive, massive buff to the Dragon Scale armor skill Entangling Flames. Now, previously, it gave a shield up to 5 friendly legions in the designated circle. So the shield was flat to everyone, um, uh, up to 3.2 thousand shield factor, and it lasted for 10 seconds. Now and a 10% physical attack boost for 10 seconds as well, which is pretty good. Now it gives a boon shield, and if I understand correctly, a boon shield means it is divided across all the people that are getting it. So, for example, this 4.5k is going to be spread out up to 3 people, if I understand the boon shield term right. It should be spread up to 3 people, but I will have to double check with customer service on this change. And when I get the response, I will post it down in the comments below. It's getting a huge overhaul. It's given up to 4.5 thousand shield factor, which is massive. I think this artifact just skyrocketed to one of the best artifacts in the game. And you also get a nice range damage resistance, which is one of the first type of damage resistance for this we've seen. I don't think anything else just gives flat out range damage taken reduction by 18% for 5 seconds, which is pretty good. Now, next up, there will be some commander overhauls. Thea is getting a rework on her third skill, Purging Wind. Now, previously, Thea's skill, where is she? There she is. Thea's third skill, Purging Winds, provided a flat 10% defense buff ranging up to 20%, and a conditional part of it needed flying units to apply a 10% up to 20% march speed. Now it's getting a rework and switching all the way into, let's see here. She's still gonna give her flat defense to everything, and now when they're flying units, they're also getting up to a 10% attack buff. So she's getting a little bit extra loving for flying units because flying units are not that good right now, aside from Celestials, which Celestials are pretty good right now. Now, melee legions will get significantly more rage when hit by Ranged legions, which is a great buff for infantry because right now the meta is for open field is pretty much mage and archer balls, with mage balls pretty much wiping the floor with everything else. Now this next change, in my opinion, is gonna start slowly shifting the meta away from all range. The physical attack of knights, wolf riders, and forest eagles are getting slightly increased. Notice that it's not actually increasing the attack of the ranged cavalry of the Spring Wardens. I'm not sure if they're included or not. I'll also have to ask CS about this. However, I wonder how much they're going to increase it because in last patch they said they're going to slightly increase march capacities and they flat out doubled it. So I don't know how much it's going to change. We'll have to see the numbers in the patch when the patch drops. They've added a new infantry skill, Rampage. March speed increases when approaching a target legion. After collided, the enemy target's march speed is reduced by 75% for 8 seconds. This is massive. This change, coupled by the change of the new cavalry skill change, is massive. Right now, melee troops might actually just warp over the meta, take over. How will ranged be able to kite if they're getting slowed by 75% for 8 seconds? This is massive. We'll have to wait and see how this looks like in the open field. But this is wow. 75%. That is so much. Anyway, they're changing the skill for cavalry units, which is called Unyielding Rush now, instead of Cavalry Charge. It increases the march speed when approaching the target legion after colliding with a ranged legion. The hero commanding this legion gains 1000 rage, which pretty much means an instant skill cast. So the moment your cavalry hits the target legion, they're gonna be able to instantly launch their skills. So now cavalry are officially full on hit and run. You go in, launch your skill instantly, then go out for 12 seconds, then rinse and repeat. This pretty much buffs cavalry by a lot. But again, we'll have to wait to see this in action. But this might make cavalry pretty viable now. Interesting change. Might start to see some cavalry in the meta now. Next up, they improved the layout of the battle reports. You can now see the number of merits hit by each hero. That's nice. And they removed the following items. That's weird. They removed the 5 and 10% attack and 5 and 10% defense items and any way to obtain them. Hmm, I don't know how to feel about this. This is such a random change. I don't know, but maybe they're gonna rework it in the future. Who knows? They've re-enabled the unions in the game. This change was one of the most controversial changes last patch, removing unions altogether. It seems that they're gonna they add it, but they're gonna switch it up a little bit, which only allows you to union with one other alliance. Hmm. Curious on how this will look like, but I'm happy they're backtracking. But I still don't understand why they removed it in the first place. They said for the terms of balance and everything, but unions didn't really cause any balance issues, as far as I'm aware, from what I've seen in all the other servers and the wars that have happened so far. So yeah, it's a welcome change. But however, this only applies in Season 1 Plus, which is currently one server, SS1-2. That's the only server that's going to get applied to, which is the server I'm in right now. They're changing up the timers, which selectable heroes and dailies are adding. Who cares? Kinara has been removed from gold chests and can be summoned through gold chests, but temporarily, however. So I guess they're just going to add her to the wheel for a patch or two, then re-add her to gold chests later. That's fine. If you got her earlier, it goes for you. If you didn't, well, too bad. You'll be able to get her probably from the daily deals eventually, or from the Wheel of Fortune when she's added there. Some artifacts are getting removed from the pool of the regular Universal Artifact Compodium, which are the following. Greymare's hammer, Breath of Gigantus, and Viola's bow. They'll probably be only obtainable through the Forge of Light event, unless these artifacts they plan to have a huge overall rework to them. All three of them are extremely good, and their skill actives are extremely impactful in the field. Breath of Gigantus nukes defenses. Grey's Warhammer has a massive AoE 2 second stun, and Viola's bow has a big silence. So we'll see what they plan to do with them. The artifact of Splaying and artifact Amulet of Glory have been removed from the artifact podium. That's pretty good because that means when there's less stuff to that you can pull from the compodium, it increases the chances of you getting stuff you actually need. And these two are not really that good to begin with anyway. Then the artifacts offered through the Forge of Light event will no longer be automatically added to the artifact bonus and ads. Hmm, that's interesting. So in a way, they are delaying when the Forge of Light artifacts that appear there join the Universal Artifact Podium. But they say here that the timing to the addition will be at the discretion of the dev team. Interesting, interesting. Increasing the number of daily challenges even more. What? They've already increased it a lot. Hmm. I don't know how to feel about this. But now, the two most important changes, the stories and the dialogue and the new emojis. Let's go. That's it. The patch. That's the best patch right so far. They're adding new emojis. Well, yeah. Anyway, let me know what you guys feel about these changes. I am curious to hear everyone's thoughts. As always, if you like this video, feel free to like, share, comment down below, and yeah, I will see you next video.